The Justice Department is suing the Utah prison system. This comes on the heels of a DOJ investigation last month that found they violated the Americans with Disabilities Act and the Eighth Amendment by not accommodating a trans woman's gender dysphoria. That investigation found UDOC did not accommodate her in several ways, leading her to self-harm.
Come on, man.
Two people from Florida have pleaded guilty to stealing and selling the private diary of President Biden's daughter, Ashley. Biden's daughter was moving from a friend's home in 2020, and she left behind some personal items, including her diary. They were found by a woman who, along with a friend, sold them to the conservative activist group Project Veritas. They've been ordered to forfeit the $40,000 they were paid, and they now face 5 years in prison.
Hi, is this Ashley Biden?
This is she. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Yeah, I just wanted, so I heard you have a few of my belongings, and so I was going to ask if you could please meet my friend, Eric, who is down in Del Rey, if you could meet him and get the stuff to him.
There's a diary here. It starts in January. It says, January at the end of a New York month, I'm sitting on a bed at the I building.
Yeah, so if you could just give everything that you have to Eric, that would be really great. I
don't want to give this to the wrong person. I mean, I want to make sure...
At this point, and I don't mean to... I don't want to have to get Secret Service involved in this, right? Because it's a whole process.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I am Ashley Biden. It is my stuff. So if you could just give all of that over, I would really appreciate it. I know you sent a picture to my husband with a camera and a few other things that are mine as well. So that would be really great. Where is a good place for him to meet you?
There's also this bag with luggage tags on it. And so is that bag, because there's all this stuff, is that bag yours too, Ashley?
Yes, it is.
Americans can rest easy tonight knowing that 2 dangerous criminals are off the streets and are heading to prison. No, they didn't kill anybody. They didn't rape. They didn't traffic drugs or underage kids. And no, they didn't get loaded and wreck their Porsche. They found Ashley Biden's diary, and they tried to sell it. According to the Department of Justice, Amy Harris and Robert Kurlander pled guilty today to, quote, conspiracy to commit interstate transportation of stolen property. That has to be the least used federal statute on the books. But the diary was never stolen. Ashley Biden abandoned it. She left it under a mattress in a Florida halfway house where she was recovering from her sex and drug addiction. I have a legitimate question. Why don't the Biden kids ever clean up after themselves? Did they grow up with maids? Hunter's leaving his laptop at repair shops and his crack pipes and rental cars. Ashley's just ditching her diary around a bunch of drug addicts. This is the sloppiest family I've ever seen. It's almost like they want to get caught. Talk about daddy issues. We don't have time for that tonight, though. But the DOJ doesn't care. They're making it seem like these 2 people broke into the Biden family beach house and stole it out of the big guy's safe. They accused Harris and Kurlander of crossing state lines with stolen property and using an encrypted messaging app to communicate with journalists. Oh, so like WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger? Billions of people use that across the world. These people aren't Russian hackers. But that's what Merrick Garland wants you to think. And listen, these people aren't totally clean. They're getting high, and they find a diary, and they try to shop it for money to buy drugs, all before an election. They shopped it to a bunch of outlets. No one wanted it, and eventually ended up at Project Veritas. James O'Keefe wanted it, and he was suspicious, though, and needed confirmation that this was the real deal. So the duo went back down to Florida to find more evidence to corroborate it. O'Keefe paid $40,000 for it, but never even ran the story. Next thing you know, the FBI raids his house. And listen, the diary would have been a big October surprise had anybody run with it. It's full of dirt on the first family. In it, Ashley wrote about being hypersexualized in her youth. saying, quote, "I remember having sex with friends at a young age and showers with my dad. Probably not appropriate," quote unquote.
I grew up in Wilmington, Delaware, and had a fairly normal childhood.